Dr. Mehmet Oz is having a rough go as a candidate for Senate in Pennsylvania. Oz, who was supported by Donald Trump but was not the top choice of many of the most conservative voters, seems to keep stepping into problems of his own creation, the way, well, a celebrity novice candidate might. Like when Oz recently tweeted a video designed to highlight recent inflation and laid the blame on President Biden.
Thought I'd do some grocery shopping. I'm at Wegner's, and my wife wants some vegetables for crudite, right? So here's a broccoli. That's $2. Not a ton of broccoli there. There's some asparagus. That's $4. Yep. And carrots. That's $4 more. Guys, that's $20 for crudite, and this doesn't include the tequila. I mean, that's outrageous. And we got Joe Biden to thank for this.
Didn't land well, and no, it wasn't just that he was making a fancy crudite. He apparently also mispronounced Wegmans. Oz's opponent, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, tweeted, quote, "In Pennsylvania, we call this a veggie tray." The video was so broadly mocked that Oz was even asked about it during an interview with the politically friendly outlet Newsmax.
Let's talk crudite, if we can. As you know, this video went viral. You were at Wegmans, going through the veggie aisle, essentially hitting on inflation and how things cost more. Putting together a plate of crudite would cost you more than $20. You said that you were at Wegner's. This is a very popular local grocery in this region called Wegmans. Your response to this?
Now, when consistently right-leaning Newsmax is challenging the Republicans' campaign ads, you know there's trouble in political paradise. Oz's response?
But I joke about a crudite, which is a way of speaking about how ridiculous it is that you can't even put vegetables on a plate. In the middle of a campaign, we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure that people of Pennsylvania respect what we're about, and that we're going to work as hard as we can to fix their problems.
It's a decent reply. The thing is, this isn't the first time that Oz has made an obvious self-own. Earlier this summer, he tweeted a video condemning Pennsylvania Democrats.
These radical left-wing politicians advocate for criminals first. They want shorter sentences for dangerous criminals, sanctuary cities to be a safe haven for criminal illegal immigrants, and cashless bail. I'm not into it.
That's a pretty safe conservative argument. Unfortunately for Oz, there was a little issue, and Fetterman called him out on it again. He said, "Pro tip, don't film an ad for your Pennsylvania Senate campaign from your mansion in New Jersey." Turns out someone close to Fetterman compared the background of that video to photos of his den in his North New Jersey mansion that had previously been featured in People magazine. Fetterman portrays himself as an old-school working-class Democrat, and according to the most recent Fox News poll, Fetterman's up 11 points on Oz in the Senate race. Now, the New York Times reporting that the National Republican Senatorial Committee is cutting $5 million in ad spending across 3 states, one of which is Pennsylvania, which suggests that maybe the GOP is throwing in the towel on Oz's campaign. Democrats have long been the ones catering to celebrities, setting up an endless stream of much-deserved punchlines. But when Oz makes a point to go to a South Philly restaurant to show what a local he is, and it allows Fetterman to call the place a, quote, rite of passage for every tourist, you have to start asking what the heck is going on. Joining me now is Pennsylvania Republican strategist Allison Young. Allison, thanks for coming back on the show. Appreciate it. It seems to me that Dr. Oz needs to stop pretending he's a man of the people and just embrace the fact that he's a very wealthy celebrity, just as Donald Trump did.
Look, I get that that's part of his brand, but all of this stuff, Dan, is just being ginned up by Democrats that I think are worried.
Is it working?
I don't think so, because here's what's happening. John Fetterman is running a campaign that is satirical in nature, that has no substance to it, and it's all on Twitter. And I think Pennsylvanians are smarter than that. So John Fetterman is spending all of his time playing to his national friendlies and progressives on Twitter, but he's not paying attention to Pennsylvania.
Fair enough. I'm not making a judgment about, who would be a better candidate, and I understand that, you would support Oz, certainly in the choice between the two. But strategically, in terms of what Oz needs to do when he's down 11 points in the latest poll, and let's even say, maybe he's down 8 points, 7 points, whatever the number is, he's definitely way down, but you still believe he's got a shot.
I do, because you call it the marginalized majority here. I call it the exhausted moderate majority, because people, I think, are really tired of this this constant feed from the Fetterman campaign about everything's horrible, Oz is horrible, this is all horrible, but they're not seeing anything positive. And it goes along with a little bit of what we say publicly and what we say privately too. I think people are going to show up for Oz because they're scared of the far left socialist agenda that John Fetterman brings. And so I do think that Oz appeals to that moderate majority that makes up most of Pennsylvania.
See the way Allison Young just weaved in all of the segments from that we've done previously on the show tonight. Allison, thank you so much for coming. That's why we love having you. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Dan.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.